Yeah, RFK really had a smooth. I don't know if you guys ever saw his. He was at some speech or whatever. He quickly snuck something top shelf, and it was you couldn't even detect it was so fast. Welcome everyone who's watching the replay because no one is watching this live currently because we just clicked live. So I'm going to send this link around. Boom, bang, bing. Let's see. Hold on. Okay, let's send this around. Yo, you know what I found out, by the way? I'll wait for a few more people to be on here. Dude, you guys aren't going to believe what I'm about to tell you. I mean, it's not that crazy, but it's pretty funny. Like, okay, hold on a sec. Asher, what's going on, man? Shout out to Asher. Asher, are you anywhere near this? Are you anywhere near this shocking situation that's unfolding? Um, on with this snowstorm action? Let me know if you're anywhere near any of that, dude. Sunny, what's going? Wow, Sunny, your notifications work today. Came back from lunch. 4:30 lunch, California time action. Let me know, Sonny. And Nicole, we were just talking about you yesterday, actually, that wild synchronicity. We'll never forget it. So, if you guys know, this is just a funny side note, but Vitaly, who is a famous Russian American prankster, who also went to jail in was it Vietnam or South Korea or something, Philippines, one of those places, for almost a year because of these pranks he was doing there. Like he isn't exactly like a role model. I mean, he's been funny, but he's also like a bit degenerate. But anyway, he his mom actually follows me on Instagram, which is hilarious. And so does you know who else's mom followed me on Instagram, which will only be uh something for a small percentage of you. But there's this famous rapper called XXX Tentacion, and he actually apparently was like taken out because he was talking about 432 hertz and consciousness and all this pineal gland stuff, kind of like Bob. And except Bob, people think he got replaced by a clone. But anyways, then there's something to that, by the way. Like it's one thing to just say everyone's a clone and everyone's fake, but there is something to the rise and then fall of Bob that was shocking. But anyway, XXX Tentacion's mom actually, I made a post about him and then found out she follows me. And anyway, we discussed, and she kept it light and brief, but she was like, "You hit the nail on the head, man." And it was the authentic, actual her own account. Anyway, Groovy's Beach. Shout out to Groovy's Beach, who's in a time crunch right now. I'll get into right away the shocking situation of the Olympics first. Brad said, I heard there was over 100 mentions of Asheville, North Carolina in the Epstein files. No way. You should look into the Vanderbilt family. Biltmore House lore, Asheville, hurricane, flooding, rabbit hole. Oh, wow, eh? Dude. It seems like everything is freaking, there's an angle to everything, man. There really is. And what isn't scripted? Like so much of it, I'm not saying it's fake, but it's seemingly part of, it's like an evil plan. But if the evil plan is carried out, you know, under the dominion of God, then it could be a part of his plan too, to let this shit play out and to make us become stronger because of it. Like, I mean, in a different perspective, right? Some people have to get sick to get healthy, for example. If they never got sick, they wouldn't have made these drastic changes, which then made them way healthier than before when they got sick. So maybe humanity is like needs to get quote unquote sick in order for it to become much healthier than before it was sick. You know what I mean? So maybe this is all part of a grand plan to begin with. It surely must, you know what I mean? But anyway, so just so you guys know what's shocking and interesting, so the two ladies in winter sports of the Olympics was Eileen Gu and Alyssa Liu. Let me get those names right because I literally only heard of. I did not watch the Olympics at all, but I started hearing about. I only did research on this today. So but I mean, you don't need to be like a mathematician to figure it out. So hold on a second. Let me just get their names right, and then I can tell you the rest. Eileen Gu, yeah. Alyssa Liu. Okay, so Eileen Gu and Alyssa Liu. Eileen played. They're both Chinese American. Eileen's, um, yes, Eileen's mom. We don't know anything about her dad, but her mom came from China, was a scientist, and then became a molecular biologist in the States. When she was 40 years old, she had Eileen. Uh, what's her name? Ashlyn, did I say? Aislinn, Ainsley. Oh, hold on a second. I'm telling you, it eventually is coherent. Just give me a second here. So Eileen Gu, yeah, yeah. Oh, I should have wrote their full blown. Hold on a sec. Alyssa. Okay, it's Alyssa. So Alyssa was born by her dad was the sperm donor, and then she was surrogated. Gu and Lu. No, I know, Sonny. I mean, there's something strange. Like it is something. Seriously, it's like either just a quick, crazy synchronicity, a cool glimpse in the Matrix, or is it a script? Like I don't know. But listen, so Eileen Gu, Alyssa Liu. Eileen Gu, we don't know her dad. There's no public information about him at all, but we know her mom was a molecular biologist, a real smarty pants, and she was full blown Chinese, and she had allegiance to China. And Eileen, even though she's Chinese American, apparently she got offered a bunch of money and chased around to compete in the Olympics for China. Alyssa Liu, they do, you could say, some people were saying they look similar, but I mean, you could say that about so many different, you could say that about all of Ghana, like people have similar genetics of the same country, right? But anyways, so Alyssa Liu, her dad had 5 surrogate children. He's Chinese, the surrogates were all American. And anyways, they both, so then Alyssa Liu's dad was big into, he got chased basically out of China. He took political, what's the word, refugee out of China because the Chinese government was apparently messing with him because he took part in the democratic movement of like Tiananmen Square in the 1980s, and he was a big proponent of freedom and everything. So they chased him out of China, threatened him. And so they both have interesting, strange ways that they were born. One is mysterious, one is just, I'm not going to say strange, like surrogate isn't, it'd be kind of, it's not as normal as just a normal birth, right? But anyways, they both are like superhuman skills, have broke a ton of records. They're both Chinese American, and the end of the Olympic, I mean, it basically came down to them competing in separate sports, but they both won gold. And so I said in my video, if either of you are watching this, like, great job. And what an interesting coincidence, and it's difficult making posts like this in some ways because, dude, we just found out that apparently in the Epstein files, like, it came out that we don't even know about Biden. And didn't Trump tweet in 2024? He posted something on Truth Social that basically suggested that that Biden was like killed and then a clone took his job. Like, that Trump posted that on Truth Social, right? And um, so there's a lot of strangeness about potential clonings, this, that, and the other. But I just thought that that was a lot of wild coincidences. It kind of reminded me of the Charlie Kirk Snake Eyes thing. And, it makes me wonder how much of this whole thing is fully legit or not. And then at the same time that's going on, it's interesting the Olympics happen when we're literally seemingly on the cusp of like some serious global conflict where we have a huge percentage of the US military floating around in the water and in the skies around and above Iran. And it's like Olympics, I know it's a national pride thing, and that can be good. Like it's good. For example, if we all just hated our own countries, like it's not exactly, it's kind of demoralizing and you kind of feel defeated. So I get like nationalism is a very good thing, but also the Olympics do give me the vibration of like bread and circuses, right? I know you may be thinking, well, can we have anything? Well, we can. I'm just saying, like, it's interesting because while people are so stoked about the Olympics and everything, we also have back end loophole laws that are being passed about, you know, for example, they just approved a new pesticide that for the first time ever, part of its actual like design is that it has forever chemicals in it, which apparently does some extra thing for the reduction of pests and herbs, like if it's an herbicide. Anyway, so they're cranking out all these things that's affecting the food and water supply, and then people are all spun up about sports and the Olympics and whatnot. And not to mention, if we go over some of the commercials that were played during the Olympics, which I don't know is as it must probably be bigger. More people watch the Olympics than they watch like the Super Bowl, right? Like statistically speaking, like a large portion of the globe globe watch the Olympics, right? So, anyways, some of the commercials on there were just shocking, and people who are paying attention can see right through it, but others are like, "Oh, that's a really nifty AI looking commercial," and the conditionings that they hide in this stuff. I mean, it's freaking wild, man. Yeah, I'd hope so. Strong as I know that some nurses actually got in big trouble because they secretly were injecting people with like salt water instead of the actual mRNA. And that reminds me of the guy who got in trouble for secretly not adding fluoride to the water of his town. And I think it was Maine. He worked there for like 30 years and he just wasn't adding fluoride, but was saying he was. And I don't know how he got found out, but I don't even know if he got in that much trouble because like no one got sick or anything, right? And their teeth were like the same health level as like the average tooth of people who are drinking fluoride all the time, which is their big cover story, right? But yeah, the guy who didn't add fluoride is a hero. The nurses who didn't inject the untested mRNA shit are also legends. You know what I mean? It's just they're a glitch in the matrix, man. They're standing. The fluoride didn't work on them, obviously. But with that, I should mention it is shocking because there was a doctor in the 1940s who got totally smeared and slandered after this because he came out and said that um, anyone who has consumed fluoride, which is not fluoride, fluoride is not even the proper word for it. It's hydrofluorosilicic acid, and it's a byproduct of the pesticide industry. And that's what they're putting in the water. So I do think most of you guys probably are already big into decalcifying your pineal gland and detoxing. I know Strong as Ozokai, OJ, maybe OJ. I'm thinking of CJ. You guys got similar usernames. Sunny for sure, Will for sure, Asher definitely. But if you haven't went into decalcifying your pineal gland yet and detoxing, because I don't believe that, like this doctor said that you'd never are the same after you drank fluoride. I don't necessarily fully believe that. I know that it can definitely significantly affect you. Of course it does. But I also know that the human body is only 7 years old max at any given time, even if you're 100 years old. The cells of your body are not older than 7. So you're constantly regenerating and rejuvenating. It's a matter of what are you putting in your system that is able to assist the rejuvenation and the restoration of healthy, good cells. So with that, before we get into the next part about Trump action and the dark web possible leaks of the unredacted Epstein files, which would be freaking wild. We are giving away a couple of bags of the chocolate powder tonight. This is the organic heirloom cacao from Bolivia from Chalk. And Chalk, as you know, they're based in Texas. They ship out of Georgia. They got an all-American customer service team. This is organic heirloom cacao from Bolivia, $100 value, which massively stimulates stem cell production. It's super detoxing and delicious. And it has camu camu and lucuma extract in it, which are extremely high in vitamin C. Thank you, butter. And so we're talking about some of the most potent adaptogens. I mean, cacao, for example, it does stimulate bliss chemicals, which is tryptophan, dopamine, and serotonin. So it's super good for neurological function and brain function. We're giving away 4 or 5 bags of the lit powder tonight, $100 value. It is first come, first serve. The website is choq.com. I'm going to put it in the chat right now. So make sure you click it so you get bumped first in line if you've never tried chalk or any superfoods before. So hold on, let me double check. Boom, bang, bing, CHOQ. So we have a special basically deal that's going on tonight. That's the website, choq.com. The first couple people to go to chalk.com, if you look at the #1 supplement for men and women, it's the hot water purified shilajit, right? Which is it's a hormone optimizer. It's got 11 clinical studies. It boosts testosterone for men. It balances hormones for women. It stimulates the production of new brain cells. It's called neurogenesis. And it also contains something known as C60 or carbon 60, which is an anti-aging fullerene molecule. So look into C60, type in C60 benefits, carbon 60. It's like an anomaly, man. And that is in abundance in the shilajit. But the C60 thing they're still kind of new, but we do know about shilajit that it has bioactive compounds in it, which are super detoxing, again, believed to decalcify the pineal gland. And for men and women, it's a potent hormone optimizer and fertility booster. And that's the purified shilajit. So that's also what some people think they made the movie Limitless on. Because Limitless, what does it do when you take that pill in Limitless? You get better memory, your recognition, you got total recall, you can remember everything. Like it's super good for your freaking brain. Similar to the shilajit, honestly. So that's the #1 supplement for men and women. To get the free lit powder, and I'll hold a slot for a groovy beach. If you go to chalk.com and you put the male Vitality Stack subscription or the female Vitality Stack subscription in your cart, and you apply the discount code 26life, you get a lifetime 26% off discount, which you can cancel or modify at any time. And if you place your order during the live, automatically you're going to get the $100 bag of the chocolate powder included in your order for free. You're not going to see it on your order form, but it's going to be physically placed into your box when it's packed up. It's a superfood. It's delicious. I mean, they're doing it tonight for the first 4 or 5 people, but they are running low on the lit powder. So this is kind of like one of the last calls on the deal in general. The other one that's in the male and female stack is the certified organic ashwagandha, which has 26 clinical studies. It's pro-fertile. It massively boosts melatonin production, so you get 1,000 times better sleep while you're taking it. And it also boosts healthy mood and focus because of its brain building benefits. It's considered what do they call it? The king of herbs in India. Like it is a serious herb. Unfortunately, the vast majority of ashwagandha, though, is farmed in China. So you do have to watch out for, don't just go hear about the benefits of ashwagandha and go and buy it on like Amazon or Google or some shit, because it's the Shanghai surprise. Whereas Chalks is certified organic and then has 26 clinical studies on it for the fertility benefits, the hormones, detoxification, and brain function. So the other thing I should mention in the male and female stack, so Groovy's Beach, female stack is the hot water purified. So the stack is a combination of superfoods. So it's 3. And in the female stack, it's the hot water purified shilajit, the organic ashwagandha, and the certified wild crafted Irish moss, which comes from Nova Scotia. The reason I mention it's wild crafted as opposed to farmed is the vast majority of Irish moss on the internet is farmed in the Caribbean. It's full of microplastics, and it is much less potent because of the contaminants that are in it. Whereas Chalk specifically opted to get the wild crafted stuff in Nova Scotia because the water is way cleaner and it has the full matrix of minerals without any strange microplastics and forever chemicals in it. So that's what you're getting with the female stack. It's the shilajit, the ashwagandha, and the Irish moss. If you put any of the Chalk superfood stacks, the male or female stack, in your cart on the subscription basis, and you apply the discount code 26life, 26LIFE, you get a lifetime 26% off discount, which you can cancel or modify at any time. And automatically you're going to get that free $100 bag of chocolate powder if you're one of the first 4 or 5 people included in your order for free. So I will say the lit itself is worth it, because at this point, if you get a stack with that code, it's basically the same, or in fact cheaper than if you were to buy the lit powder with no code. Like, it is a smoking freaking deal. It's to help get the word out, and also because I do think, and Chalk thinks this as well, that it is the most imperative time in human history to be detoxing, to be decalcifying, to be boosting your brain function. And interestingly, a lot of people, there's so much news right now. Like, I was even hearing, who was it? Not that I listened to Joe Rogan. I do think he is totally controlled opposition. But he did say something which most people can agree with, because this is his job. It's truth mixed with lies. He goes and says, whatchamacallit, that the news is so crazy right now that he can't even like decompress. It's like nonstop. There's all this crazy stuff. And it's designed to get you thinking and going, buck wild about what's going on, and not focus on the internal or within, which is, the importance of decalcifying your pineal gland and detoxing. When's the last time he talked about that? He might have had Paul Stamets on there once when he said he would never eat portobello mushrooms, but he can't say why, because he wants to live. I'll say that again. Paul Stamets, the ancient mushroom guy, says that he would never eat portobello mushrooms, but he can't say why, because he wants to live. So it's pretty freaking wild. Shout out to Butterdog. Butterdog just placed his order. His order number is 743830. Let me punch this in. Hold on a sec. Perfect. Okay, hold on. Free lit. Okay, so we just gave the announcement to the shipping department at Chalk to get Butterdog the free lit powder in his order, because he got a male vitality stack with the code 26life. So we got the 26% off lifetime discount, and he's getting the free lit included in his order. Shout out to freaking Butterdog, dude. He's always stocking up, man. The guy is, he's got a few screws loose, man. He probably has like 20 subscriptions. He just keeps going. Groovy, make sure you apply the 26life on the female vitality stack subscription, not the one-time order. Now, you can cancel the subscription at any time or modify it. The reason I mention that is because, although it's important to know, the clinically studied benefits are based on consistent consumption over 90 days. So you do want to get a consistent dose of the superfoods, the shilajit, the ashwagandha, and the Irish moss, to experience the full range of benefits. But even just, 30 days of it is great. I just wanted to mention that it's not like when we used to get cell phones in like the early 2010s, and you had to sign like a 2-year contract. You can modify your subscription from the back end of the site at any time. It's just for logistic purposes and for you to be not having to ration. It's on a subscription basis. And that's also how you get the free lit. And it's also cheaper that way than if you bought it on a one-time order. So make sure that discount 26life gets applied to the subscription. Yes, it depends how much of the mask is covering your face, Will. I'm sure AI could not recognize you if you had a full-blown mask on, like some of the masks I've seen. Tony Westbrook, yeah, man. Paul Stamets, I'm sure maybe you know the name. The guy is well known in the mushroom community. He's the guy who published stuff about how certain mushrooms can break down plastics, certain mushrooms can break down heavy metals, and it's pretty cool. But he also said that on a Joe Rogan podcast interview that you don't want to eat portobello mushrooms, but he can't say why, because he wants to survive, or he wants to live, or something like that. You know what I mean? So it's freaking wild, man. So, I mean, I didn't really eat portobello mushrooms that much anyway. I know they were like decent. You grill them up, you could have a portobello mushroom burger, like, doesn't really compare to a freaking beef burger. But anyway, it's all right. But yeah, I didn't really find that affected by that. Tony, because I don't even think I ate them that much anyway. But yeah, we call it the 90-day chalk challenge. If you take the male stack or the female stack for 90 days, that's the 90-day chalk challenge. And that's where a ton of the clinically studied benefits are studied up to that day. So if you can imagine 100 people getting blood work done all the time while they're taking the shilajit, the ashwagandha, and the Irish moss, it's a significant takes a significant amount of financial support to run this study. So they capped it at 90 days, but in those 90 days is where they showed all the benefits you'll see listed on the site about the shilajit, the ashwagandha, and the Irish moss. My favorite thing about the shilajit, not only that it's pretty cool that Genghis Khan, what's his name, Bruce Lee, Vladimir Putin, and Arnold Schwarzenegger all took shilajit or are still taking it. I mean, the Russian military secretly studied shilajit for 40 years. And so when you find out why they did, I think it's kind of in black and white in the clinical studies. It's a major brain thing. It's a detox. It's an energy thing. And it's also, I don't know if there's many clinical studies on the spiritual benefits of it, but if you are taking the shilajit and if it does decalcify your pineal gland, I mean, or let's just say it supports healthy pineal gland function, you will notice a large difference in your sleep quality and your memory and your dreams while you're taking it. That's one of the things I noticed too. Not to mention the story I have of when my pineal gland literally cracked open. I literally heard in the middle of my head a crack, like it sounded like have you ever chewed on a piece of sand? It sounded like that when I started massively dosing the minerals and the shilajit. And that was at the beginning of where before that I had done some fasts before, but I'd never done like a full blown fast, and then a bunch of superfoods. I'm telling you, man, minerals replace heavy metals and they bind to free radicals and excrete them out of the body. So that's some of why it is so beneficial for detoxification. I'm going to announce right now that we are live on Instagram, like on my Instagram live, to tell them that we're live on Rumble rather. And there's going to be like another 100 people on here imminently. So if you're on the fence and you are on the site, make sure you put that code 26life on ASAP so that you get the discount before the deal is capped, basically. Oh, and the free lit, of course. Exactly, dude. OJ said, mind, body, soul is the human trinity. Affect one and it affects the others. 100%, man. 100%. So let me quickly shout out this live. I do want to hold a slot for Groovy Beach. I'll do what I can, but I'm literally just shouting this live out right now. Remember to put that code 26life on though. And I'll tell you about the Epstein shit too. It's a shocking rumor, to be honest. Okay, so hold on a second. Let's think of the title. I mean, we got World War III, Trump speaking, DC in lockdown. Hold on. Hold on a sec. And yes, that's true. The shilajit is a potentiator, so it increases the potential of any other herb or superfood that's taken with it. Oh, shit. Wow. Groovy just ordered the female stack. Congratulations to Groovy. Groovy, let me just make sure, because I'm talking to one of the Chalk's top guys right now. I'm going to say, make sure Groovy gets the lit. They know that anyone using the code 26life during the time period that I'm live are supposed to get freebies. So congratulations to Groovy, who just got the female vitality stack with the lit for free in her order, the shilajit, the ashwagandha, and the Irish moss. Shout out to Groovy. Groovy, by the way, you have a direct line to me on the, as everyone does on here, for Q&A action as well. So consider I mean, you did anyway, but especially, I mean, you're keeping the lights on the stream. You got your superfoods dialed in and locked, on lock rather. So I'm thrilled. If you have any questions, let me know. And also, in your when you have, some time, you're maybe on doing something where you can read some stuff online. The clinical studies are like a shocking read on the site about the stuff you just ordered, the shilajit, the ashwagandha, and the Irish moss. There's many, many benefits. We could barely even scratch the surface on this live. So shout out to Groovy. I'm thrilled. Tell me your name and I'll shout you out with your real name. And then if you just give me your social insurance, no, I'm just kidding. Shout out to Ozokai. He said, so Ozokai is taking the mail stack. He said, I'm taking the daily. That's in the stack. Look, dude, Ozokai does this every once in a while. He's not on every live, but the lives, when he sees someone else order chalk on the live, he goes, as P. Diddy said, buck wild, full buck wild. That's what he said when he was hanging out with fucking Justin Bieber, man. Justin Bieber. Anyways, he goes and he explains it in full detail. So he says, look, I'm taking the daily 500 milligrams of shilajit plus several other adaptogens. That's right. The mucuna, the tribulus, the saffed muesli, and the cacao extract. He's taking the Tonkat 100. He's taking the Ashwagandha. So that's the male stack right there. Then he's also taking the Action 2.0. He said it's incredible for oxygenation and blood flow. The heirloom cacao lit powder morning and night, the best hot chocolate on planet Earth. He means plain Earth. Freaking double dose of Shilajit by itself, double dose of the Blue Spirulina. Shout out to Ozo Kai, who's really enjoying his freaking superfoods, man. Ozo, thank you, man. Thank you for giving your full-blown, real-time review. He said, the Irish moss, the full matrix of minerals, and supercharges lung function every single day. He can honestly say to God that he has never felt so amazing, clean, and powerful in his entire life. Okay, hold on. Like, you guys know that Ozo Kai is a real person, right? He's called in on the live before. So shout out to freaking Ozo Kai, man. That is I should like laminate that. Freaking awesome, dude. Hold on. There's like a bunch of other people on the site right now. If you're putting the male or female stack in your cart as we speak, just make sure it's the subscription and that you're applying the discount code 26life. We now only have 3 bags of the lit powder left to give away. Congratulations to Groovy. And you will be freaking, what's this? Hold on. Oh, God. Oh, shit. Butter, are you fucking kidding me, dude? They must have a VPN. I'm not going to say anything, Butter, yet, because what if they... That must be a VPN, dude. There's no way. Okay, hold on a second. I'm just shouting out the live on Instagram now. So you guys are gonna hear me yapping on Instagram about this as well. About the live. Yeah, exactly. That is actually wild, Butter. Yeah, it is indeed. It's kind of like a news event. Like, what time's he scheduled to speak? Like any minute now? I wouldn't be surprised if there's like a flash, like a, what do they call it? A black swan event where all of a sudden like Bitcoin, I mean, guys, we've been talking about this, but if you know any technicals and you look at Bitcoin, nothing is saying it's going up right now other than people's like kind of desires and hopes. You know what I mean? And that doesn't really move the markets much. Yes, there is a speech that's about to happen. Joseph Ortiz Lopez, a big time speech that we don't even know the outcome yet, but people are expecting massive moves in the financial markets. In fact, dollar's kind of cliffing lower right now. So listen, shout out to Merman and also Hamoud Khalafi. What's going on, dude? Yeah, well, they got all kinds of tanks in the streets. They have super hyper security all throughout Washington, D.C. right now for a massive speech by Trump at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, you may be wondering if what Trump's about to say is going to change things. And you'd think yes. And in theory, yes. But is he the one changing things, or is he perhaps, does he have a bit of a line he has to toe? He has to toe the line, perhaps. I would love to think that there's many organic, free-spirited, utterly uncontrolled politicians and whatnot, but I don't know if that's the case. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially with, for example, RFK, he came into power, right? HHS, and had all these big promises and things. What's happened since, man? They've approved new pesticides. They've approved, it's called CRISPR. It's even more gene editing of our food. Yeah, Trump did say he's not going to be around for much longer. He also said he doesn't know if he's getting into heaven. Like, I don't know. There's a whole angle to this. It's a multifaceted psyop, but we have a few things going on. Not only that, we have the Iran thing kicking off, which is a massive military presence, U.S. military presence in Iran right now. Whole psyop there. We have this strange situation that happened at the Olympics, which people are still wondering about. And I know people love saying nothing ever happens, but no one really paying attention thinks that nothing ever happens. Things are happening now. Yeah, see, look, Jeff just said nothing's going to happen. Dude, we have serious, significant strangenesses that are happening upon us now. Not only to mention the fact that what we just found out with the Olympics, okay, with the strange coincidences with the Olympics. It's freaking wild, dude. So listen, we're going to be doing a deep dive, and the files that just released too, there should be pretty much torches and pitchforks right now going on. But people are distracted. They're watching the Olympics. They're watching the Super Bowl. Who knows? They're doing something else. They're drinking fluoride. So we're discussing that and more and the files on my Rumble live stream channel. If you want to tune in, it's free to watch, free to download, and free speech. You don't even have to download it. You can watch it from your browser. But the reason I'm streaming on Rumble and not doing the full stream here, people think like there's some massive secret benefit I get from streaming on Rumble. No, it's that there's no strikes on Rumble. You can talk fully about fluoride on Rumble. You can, expose things and discuss things that you cannot hear. So, yeah, the fluoride stare, dude. April, May, you remember that? Yes, the fluoride stare. So, guys, come on over to Rumble right now. It's at the link in my bio. If you get the app and quickly get an account, then you can ask questions because I would love to discuss and answer a lot of your questions, but it's like there's a lot. But on Rumble, because there's less people, we're at 50 right now. Sometimes we're at 150, but I can answer questions like a Q&A. It's a freaking vibe. But I totally get if you're into just the quick 30-second dopamine hits of looking at reels, but there is something different about Rumble, man. Like it's free to download, free to watch, and free speech, and it's where we can discuss things. So come on over to Rumble. It's at the link in my bio. Or alternatively, you can go comment the word Rumble on any one of my posts, not this live, but any one of my posts. If you type in Rumble, I know April, May, there's more people here than there is on Rumble, 100%. But here is less safe than Rumble. And I have gotten strikes for talking literally about fluoride on Instagram. So I don't want to strike again. Yeah, I know, Merman. You get that, dude? That's funny. Okay, so we'll see you guys on Rumble. Again, you don't have to download it, but if you get the app, it takes 2 seconds. You get an account, and then you can comment. All right? So we'll see you guys on Rumble, free speech, and we'll discuss further, and I'll answer your questions there, all right? Much love, everyone. Okay, hold on a sec. Dude, I know, Ozokai, I have noticed that like a shitload of people were complaining about Rumble's like built-in advertisements. Like YouTube has annoying ads too, but it's kind of like at least like higher whatchamacallit, I don't know, quality or something, maybe not just the products. But yeah, Rumble anyway. No, it's definitely getting better. Rumble is getting better for sure. Wow, OJ said you are in the terminal generation for a reason. Do you mean the generation that is going to be here during the pinnacle moment in human history, or what do you mean exactly, OJ? Butterdog said dopamine maxing clips for 10 seconds at a time. Well, that's what I mean. Like, dude, I know when I go live on Instagram and 300-400 people join, there is maybe like 20 people who are actually like us. There's all these halfies who are like, yeah, like Bush did 9/11, man. But I drink fluoride. You know what I mean? And I'm not chirping if some of you guys drink fluoride. I don't think really many of you do, if any. But I mean, some people are not into it. Most people are not into it like we are. Like Ozo Kai could tell you about 9/11, Federal Reserve, Titanic, deep underground military bases, fucking Antarctica, flat Earth, the true age of the Earth, God, Noah's Ark. Like Ozokai can tell you this stuff. Groovy's Beach. She can tell you about how you got to watch out for feminine hygiene products, the chemicals and toxins that are on them. She can tell you about the feminist agenda and the plan behind it, and how Rockefeller sponsored it, and all this stuff, and the 19th Amendment. I mean, you guys know things deeply and have done a ton of research on it. When I go live on Instagram, yeah, there's a whole bunch of numbers, but there's people commenting. Like one guy says, I'm not even going to repeat, but like some of them just they're not in, man. They're not all in. They're following for entertainment. They're not researching and super, I guess they're not ready yet to really go down the rabbit hole fully. But when you do, you realize that what else are you even really talking about? What else should be discussed? You know what I mean? Like this shit's popping off. It's coming around the corner. False flag alien invasion is on the table. Global financial collapse. And the people who say that's fear mongering are not you guys, because you guys know that if before COVID, when David Icke said, and who else was it? Was it Bill Cooper or fucking, what was that written in again? Somewhere it was written that, it's just on the tip of my tongue. Oh, Gaddafi. Muammar Gaddafi said they're going to manufacture viruses and release them on the public to like mass vax them and to create all this control system around that excuse. He literally said that. And but you guys wouldn't. So if I were to say World War III, there's this plan, and there's this plan with digital ID and false flag alien invasion, you guys would be like, yeah, I know shit's planned. Like, it's shocking. Whereas someone who's not aware takes that as fear mongering, takes that as like it shocks them and they're concerned and they're scared because they don't know the backstory of what has led up to even right now and how many psyops there already has been. You know, some people just woke up to COVID and they're like, yeah, like they've kind of fudged the numbers. Like flu cases went down 900%, but then COVID cases went up 900%. Like, what are the odds? Maybe maybe there's been a bit of tomfoolery going on, but they have not yet wrapped their heads around the Titanic being an inside job. Like this whole thing we're living in now is hundreds, if not thousands, of years in the making. Hundreds or thousands, not hundreds of thousands, because the Earth is only 6,000 years old. So, but you understand my point. The problem is what is keeping people in this perpetual state of dopamine maxing and fluoride maxing and GMO maxing, in other words, consuming all those, is, or sorry, what's keeping them in a state of unawareness. It doesn't help that if you're consuming the things I just mentioned, it does lower your intuition. Because if we want to talk about intuition, it's a innate ability we have, but it can be clouded and lowered based on the chemicals and contaminants we've been exposed to. For instance, and I pray, like, listen to what I'm about to say. If you right here are sitting there and in your house, you have Tide, Glade, name another one, but the major clothing detergent brands, you are unknowingly, but now knowingly, being exposed to part of the chemical assault that is planned against humanity. And I know that may sound far out. I know you're probably thinking like, what? It might not be that clean, but it's really part of an agenda? Yes. There is trace narcotics in conventional laundry detergent to make you chemically and addicted to it. And there's, if you notice, go and pick up a bottle of Tide. You will not see on the ingredient label any ingredients. They do not tell you what's in it. It's considered proprietary because it would be so long and so pronounceable that you probably wouldn't want to wash your clothes in it and then wear it all day. It is 100% a part of the, and it's just like this. Yeah, laundry detergent's toxic. It disrupts your hormones. It's anti-fertility. It disrupts fertility. It's disrupts your endocrine system. It's toxic. It can cause all kinds of shit. I'm not even going to mention birth defects. It came out. But that's the tip of the iceberg because so does conventional colognes, perfumes, deodorants, feminine hygiene products, couches. What did he just say? Did he just say couches? Yes. Non-organic, regular couches. You go to your couch supply store and you buy a fucking couch. It is sprayed with, on average, 4 pounds of flame retardant chemicals, which is a whole scam in itself, by the way. Because before couches were sprayed with flame retardant and after, there is no difference in the amount of fires that have been started or stopped because the couch was or wasn't sprayed with flame retardant chemicals. You know that if you go to Europe, well, let's start with North America. If you want to buy children's pajamas, there's a label on it that says they mandated that basically children's pajamas, for some reason, need to be sprayed with flame retardant chemicals. And if you want to buy a clothing item, pajamas for your kids that do not contain flame retardant chemicals, because it's made of wool, which for now is allowed to be a, what do you call it, substitute, because wool is so flame retardant, it will not catch fire. They have to put a label on it that says, make sure that this is fitting snugly because it is not sprayed with flame retardant. You may be thinking, what's the big idea with flame retardant? Oh, no big deal. It's one of the most toxic chemicals. And this is why people who wear, who's the girl on the live? What's her name? She grew up on an Air Force base where they were testing flame retardant chemicals all the time. She had all kinds of crazy problems and things her whole life, which she absolutely narrowed it down to the forever chemicals that are in flame retardant chemicals, and it's on every appliance, dude. It's even in new electronics. So the reason I'm telling you this is because you could fluoridly think that this is all just a big coincidence, that the food supply is toxic, the water supply is toxic, they're spraying chemtrails on us, which is also toxic, but it's all just because they want to profit a little bit. But if you go a step deeper into the rabbit hole, Teflon, that's right, Timmy, a little bit deeper into the rabbit hole, you realize if they wanted to depopulate the earth, or let's say this, if there was, I'm not saying there's a plan to depopulate and to alter our frequency and to lower our vibration and to lower men's testosterone and to lower birth rates, but if there was, literally, what would they be doing differently? Like, I'm not even fucking willy-nillying you guys, pardon my French. Think about this. What would they be doing differently than approving toxins for the food, air, water supply, promoting promiscuity, movies like American Pie, promoting loveless sex, and all the shit that's going on, and at the same time making it harder for families to have children and raise a family? And you see what I'm saying? Like, and birth control, of course, which is in the water supply. Like, I'm not saying there's a plan to alter the, you know what I mean? Like, see, look, Far Northman, he's paying attention. Like, yes, there literally is. Like, you have, but here's the problem. This is what I'm getting at. If this is what the fluoride is for, to lower your intuition, to lower your ability to see this as for what it is. What does it say in George Orwell? You'll deny what you see with your very eyes because you're told that it's not what you're quite looking at. You know what I mean? So that's what's going on. Now, before we get into the Olympic thing, which Mr. I saw your comment, Timmy, I think was asking about, and I know, wasted synopsis. Is that funny or what, dude? And also, Mrs. Where did her comment go? Right here. She said there's a documentary called Stink. Yeah. Maria, there is a documentary called Stink. I highly recommend everyone write down the documentary Stink. You can watch it for free somewhere. Just pirate it. No, I'm just kidding. It's probably on Rumble, to be honest. That's another reason Rumble's badass. It doesn't seem like they really copyright you on here. I've watched full movies with you guys before, no copyright. But anyway, Stink is about synthetic fragrances and synthetic toxic poisons. You do not buy conventional shit. Do not buy conventional clothes. Do not buy regular clothes, especially for kids. They're all from Bangladesh, frickin' China, India. They're toxic, they're poisonous, they got synthetic dyes, and you're absorbing it into your skin. And not to mention, absorbing the chemicals into your skin is one thing that definitely happens, but also the very frequency of these synthetic materials are vibration lowering. Instead of counting calories, let's count and multiply and add and subtract vibrations. If you're in a room or in a house or in a cabin made of natural materials versus totally artificial materials, just start thinking of a high frequency if it's natural, a low frequency if it's totally, utterly artificial and synthetic. We have to think about this. The curtains behind me, you know why those are linen, organic linen? Because conventional curtains are polyester and they're sprayed with flame retardants. So I'm not even willy-nillying you guys. I am walking the talk, you know what I'm saying? Now, before we get into, like I said, the Olympic thing, which is shocking, which we do have to discuss, I don't want to make you guys leave this live thinking, because we're not over yet, but that everything's toxic. I would never say everything is toxic, because it's not. I'm sitting here, I have organic pure spring water from a freaking spring that I go to that literally I harvested yesterday that is so potent and delicious. I have freaking organic, all kinds of stuff around me right now. I got natural materials. I'm laying on a sheepskin thing on my chair and I'm wearing wool. Like, I'm not wearing anything toxic right now. This hat's made of linen. This brim is made of cork. Like, you know, these, you can make these tweaks, right? But before we shout out the live on Instagram again, I want you guys to know, because you're here first come, first serve, we are giving away free superfoods on tonight's live in honor of and in anticipation of helping people to decalcify their pineal glands. So we have 3 bags of the chalk lit powder left to give away on the live, which is organic heirloom cacao from Bolivia. It stimulates stem cell production. It's super detoxing. It's delicious. And it has a couple different superfoods in here, including camu and lucuma extract in it, which are extremely high in vitamin C. They bind to free radicals. It's believed, like I said, to decalcify your pineal gland. And it also has so many antioxidants in here that grabs onto phthalates, microplastics, pesticides, herbicides, even well, the phthalates kind of go into forever chemicals as well. But regardless, it's extremely good for your microbiome. And this is why cacao is considered one of the top 3 superfoods in the natural world. So to get the free bag of chocolate powder, the organic heirloom cacao from Bolivia, like Mrs. Breezy just did, or Breeze, oh, Groovy Beaches, rather. Sorry. This is the way the deal works. It's first come, first serve. Go to chalk.com. Chalk ships out of Georgia. They're based in Texas. They got an all-American customer service team, and they have over 5,000 third-party verified five-star reviews on Trustpilot. Wasted synopsis, if you tune in the lives often, you will hear, and we can discuss, and you can Q&A on me on this, ask about other products. But basically, if it has like a full-blown commercial and it's in Walmart, it's usually completely toxic. But I know you may be thinking that's everything, but no, I don't go to Walmart. I don't go to these main stores. I'll tell you guys my whole routine and what I do. Maybe I should start doing freaking vlogs to show you guys like how, because I realize like I live in such a way that for some people it's like, what do you do? Like, why do you do your Wi-Fi's off? Why is your Wi-Fi off? You know, like we can discuss. Anyway, so to get the free lit, go to chalk.com. It's first come, first serve. The way to get the free lit powder in your order is the #1 supplement for men and women at chalk.com is the hot water purified Shilajit. Shilajit is an herbo-mineral compound that comes from the Himalayan mountains. It's got the full matrix of minerals. It has 12 clinical studies on it. It's heavy metal tested. And what it does is there's bioactive compounds in here called humic and fulvic acid, which bind to free radicals, phthalates, microplastics, pesticides. They excrete it it excretes it out of the body, and it stimulates hormone optimization. It's pro-fertile. It boosts testosterone for men, and it balances hormones for women. Plus, it does something called neurogenesis. Neuro is neuron, genesis is generate. It makes your brain produce new brain cells, which gives you massive increases in memory, cognition, focus, mental clarity, and more. That's just the Shilajit. The second most popular superfood at Chalk for men and women is the organic ashwagandha, which not only is it super detoxing, we have 23 clinical studies on it. It's pro-fertile. It's a hormone optimizer. It's considered the king of herbs in India. It massively boosts melatonin production, so you get 1,000 times better sleep while you're taking it. And it also optimizes your endocrine system, plus it's pro-fertile. So the ashwagandha, our ashwagandha specifically, is 14 times as potent as conventional ashwagandha that's found on Amazon or other places. Whereas the other ashwagandha you get online, it's literally farmed in China. So you got to watch out for the Shanghai surprise. Ours is organic. And also we have lab tests on it that shows it has 14 times as many bioactive compounds as the conventional ashwagandha. So if there's one that you're going to feel a massive benefit from, it's ours. And you can read all those verified certifications of authenticity and more from the website, all over chalk.com. We've got the clinical studies. Spider webs in the sky, total chemtrails. They're chemtrailing us over here as well. It's a worldwide problem, Timmy, 100%. It's not just in the States. It's not just in California. It is literally worldwide. When I first went to Cuba, after finding out about chemtrails in like 2014, I saw them spraying chemtrails there, and I thought, damn, this means it's not just, dude, they spray them in Africa. They spray the shit out of Europe. Like, they spray, dude. And one lie that RFK told, unless he somehow believes this, which I would be shocked if he did, is that the chemtrail dust, the heavy metals, the aluminum, barium, and strontium is put in the jet fuel. That is not true. They have literal sprayers. It's separate completely to the, and this is the funny thing. You know how people have been doing the deep dive on how much jet fuel these planes actually use? It's called the jet fuel hoax. Well, interestingly, the fact that he said that the heavy metals and shit are in the fuel, like, kind of adds insult to injury and makes you wonder, because people are saying these planes don't even burn much fuel anyway. They're using friggin' free energy. They're using the Earth's electrostatic charge, and they're using Victor Schauberger's compressed air energy generator. And that's what these turbines directly freaking look like. And the ancient Indian temples, they have these spires that look identical to the inside of a jet turbine. And those things in India were probably using free energy. So there's a whole microcosm, macrocosm thing. But regardless, yes, we're being sprayed with heavy metals. And you can go on Street View, Groovy's beach. I was in Mexico. They were spraying the sky. I was sitting there with 3 Polish guys looking at the sky, explaining to them with their broken English, but they were woke. And I'm like, they're spraying us with chemicals. They're like, what do you mean? And I'm like, dude, and I show them stuff, and we're discussing and we're talking, and they're like, oh, that's crazy. Like, we see those all the time in Poland. I'm like, yeah, dude. And then I explained anyway. what's the consensus on why they do that? For a few different reasons. Bitchcraft. Sorry, I wouldn't call you that. That is your username. Wasted synopsis. So I'm going to answer you guys at the same time. The reason they spray is for weather control, to control the weather, because that equates to food control. You control the weather, you control the food. They're also reportedly spraying us with smart dust, which is nano. I'm sorry, but it is a little bit shocking. Nanotechnology. And apparently the plan is, and this is not going to happen because I already know, I psychically know, I've been given a vision, like I know this is not going to happen, but the plan is to turn us into cyborgs. And I know that's going to sound far out, but there's a couple documentaries I can tell you to watch with whistleblowers, and you will know it's stranger than meets the eye. And all these movies talking about connecting humans to AI, it makes sense. We know we're being sprayed with chemtrails. Why would they want to merge us with machine? It's biblical. There's a plan. It's to do with Satan. It literally is. I know it sounds far out, but we'll see how deep we can get into it on this live. Now to detox, so weather control, food control, people control, and putting nanosensors in the entire environment, which transmit data and information back to basically the command center, so that you could be sitting there like in Avatar or like in Hunger Games and be able to see the battlefield in real time in 3D. That's what the nanosensors is called. Smart dust. It's smaller than dust. And these little sensors can transmit data and information about the area around them. And they can be powered by the frequencies coming off of cell towers. It's a surveillance mechanism. It's a surveillance technology. And it's actually decades in the making. We're just only really many of us are hearing about it now. Anyways, how to detox it. What I'm wasted synopsis. This is why I'm not sitting here kind of flustered and worried and nervous and scared about it, is because I'm taking the shilajit, I'm taking the ashwagandha, I'm taking the chocolate powder, all these things, these superfoods. Of course, fasting is good too, which I do fast, not eat, intermittent fasting and even prolonged fasts to help detox. But dude, shilajit, chocolate, the Irish moss, which Groovy's Beach just got, which has the full matrix of minerals. Minerals replace heavy metals in the body. Minerals also rebuild your DNA, rejuvenate and restore your DNA, and boost biological function massively, which is why there's a part of a plan. Yeah, probably, Timmy, actually, that's a good call. Your DNA is light codes and minerals are frequencies of light. When they put all the chemicals in the fields when they're growing all of our food, that disrupts the microbiome of the soil and makes it so the plants cannot absorb the minerals from the soil in the first place, which we are supposed to be consuming and absorbing every single day. And so, alternatively, if you're getting the full matrix of minerals, most people today, even if you're eating fully organically, you're getting less than 10% of the full matrix of minerals. Whereas in the past, like a couple hundred years ago, every meal you'd eat would have basically the full matrix of minerals. So the reason I'm mentioning that is until I started taking the shilajit, the Irish moss, the chalk minerals, the chocolate powder, I was eating organically, but like grocery store organic, which is like basically, it's not ideal. It's not the farmer. It's not knowing the butcher. It's not knowing the guy who's raising the cows and raising the chickens, So that's how I detox daily. If you have better ideas, let me know. But I figure take the stuff that's proven to support healthy detoxification, support blood flow and blood oxygenation, increase brain function, rebuild the damaged DNA and damaged brain cells from these contaminants we're exposed to. And that's what I do. Now, so reminder, someone just ordered a female stack, which means we only have 2 free bags of chocolate powder left to give away. If you go to chalk.com on the live now and you add a male vitality stack or a female vitality stack to your cart and apply the discount code 26life on the subscription, you get a lifetime 26% off discount, which you can cancel or modify at any time. And you're going to get the free $100 bag of chocolate powder included in your order automatically. And you will get that. It won't show up on your order form, but it's going to be placed into your box when it's packed up. And this is basically the last call on it. We only have 2 left for this live because 3 people already ordered. Mrs. Ocean BZ got a female stack, Butter got a male stack, and someone else just got a male stack. And the male stack has Tomcat in it, by the way, which boosts free testosterone 87% in 21 days, plus sperm count and sperm motility. It's super pro fertile. So to answer Prince Red, he said, where do you shop at? So, dude, not 100% of my meat comes from a Mennonite farm. Eventually, I will be supplying my own meat, by the way. I don't really take any pride, not that you want to be prideful anyway, but like, I don't feel that cool saying, like, I get all my meat from someone else who raises the cow and processes it and then butchers it for me. You know, I'd rather do that myself. A man's wealth used to be measured by how many cows he has. So eventually I will have cows. But for now, I go to a Mennonite. Um, well, there's a cow share actually. So I get all my meat from them. And then 10% of the meat comes from an organic butcher who has a 100-mile radius of farms around him that supply him with only organic stuff, no strange chemicals, no antibiotics, no weird shit. And then produce, 90 some odd percent of it comes from a food co-op that has local organic and even greenhouses, organic farms from around the area. And by the way, I don't do local because of like the climate or carbon emissions or any bullshit like that. And I say bullshit because I'll explain, but I do it because the closer the food is to you that you eat, the more vibrationally, frequencyly compatible it is, and the more benefits there are. Like eating organic oranges, it also, like, it depends where you're living, right? Like you should try to eat things that are from your area. For example, for me, being in, you know, Canada, organic oranges, bananas, like I don't even know we're meant to eat that stuff that often. Instead, what we're doing is, for example, you can store apples. Like we eat apples all winter because apples can be stored and last all winter without any strange contaminants, Bill Gates's appeal, you know, all that stuff. It's a new coating they're allowed to put on food. So my point is though, is that, yeah, so fruit, it depends where you're at, your latitude, longitude, but meat comes from a couple spots. Produce comes from local action. It's not from Aldi's, Whole Foods. All those places are might as well be like Cisco. And but it's a slow implementation. It wasn't overnight that all this happened. You know what I mean? Um, dude, Jay Daniels says, "What got you back on meat?" Dude, Jay Daniels, that's hilarious that you say that because that means automatically that you are like an OG from a very long time ago. But dude, it has been like at least 6 or 7 years since I stopped being vegan, dude. But I was vegan for like 3 or almost 4 years, I think. But yes, definitely. I mean, my whole sentiments have come around. In fact, all the vegans I used to follow are no longer vegan anymore, including what is it? Ravana, who's the other girl who got caught eating fish on a vlog because, and then she came out and said, "I'm sorry, but ever since I've been vegan, I stopped getting my period." And she was like in her, like, I don't know, early 30s, like late 20s. And as soon as she started eating meat again, she got, and then who was his name? Vegan Takeover. This guy who was pretty extreme, but also like chill, was like super mega militant vegan, and then full blown like nuked his own audience by being like, "Look, my kid's teeth were falling out. We're not fucking vegan anymore. We got raw milk. We're eating raw meat. We're giving her." And you know, so all the people I used to, but that's not why. I mean, Vegan Takeover, when he first went vegan, I was like laughing. Or sorry, when he first started eating meat, I was like, dude, like you got deceived, man. But yeah, we're not supposed to be eating just plants. Something changed after the flood where now we do need more nutrients, and plants don't really cut it. Plus, half the vegetables have anti-nutrients anyway. Um, dude, well, Groovy, Arby's, I mean, that you said human meat. You know that you can go and buy super pure, grass-fed, organic beef burgers and make your own. That's freaking awesome. Arby's, you may want to watch out because that's a major um, food like product. I mean, does that shit even go bad? Isn't it kind of like McDonald's pretty much? Dude, she did. Prince Red. I'm not even joking. It wasn't Raw Vana. It was a different girl. I'll try to remember her name, but she was super vegan, mega vegan. And then in some video that someone took of her with her, they accidentally forgot to edit out that she's sitting there with like a plate of fish. And then when everyone was like, what the heck? And she started getting quote unquote exposed for not being vegan. She's like, guys, I'm sorry, but listen, yeah. And then she voiced all of her problems she was experiencing. So it was freaking wild, man. But yeah, Jay Daniels, that's the tip of the iceberg, man. I can tell you all about other reasons too. We'll get into it. But I do want to just, because dude, we literally have 2 more bags of the chocolate powder left, and then we got to pipe down on the live. So this is the final call to get the free $100 bags of the chocolate powder included in your order. If you go to chalk.com and you put the male vitality stack or the female vitality stack in your cart, and you apply the discount code 26life, you get the lifetime 26% off discount automatically. And then you're getting the free $100 bag of the chocolate powder, just like Groovy's Beach did. Shout out to Groovy's Beach. This will help detox you from the Arby's you ate the other day, which is wild. I'm glad that I'm really glad that you shared that with me, because if we know what's in fast food, it's not ideal, right? So I'm super thrilled for you, Groovy. She said, where can I get real meat, not human meat? Well, it depends where you live. Like, here's the thing. Like, if you're in freaking Miami or Idaho or Washington, it's all different, because this is not centralized. Where I'm telling you to get your food from is the exact opposite of centralized. It's decentralized. It's local farmers. You go to a farmer's market, you find someone, you find a hookup. You know how I'm able to drink raw milk and raw dairy? Because I was friends with an organic farmer who became friends with a guy who is a part of this Mennonite farm that you have to buy into to become a part of the cow share. And then you can get raw buffalo milk and raw cream and raw cheese and all this amazing stuff. It's about networking. And so I presume you will meet someone at your local farmer's market who will be able to give you so much amazing, impeccable info. And that's where you also may be able to find a, whatchamacallit, go to the oldest person at a farmer's market and ask, if you can't find a natural spring on findaspring.org, go and find the oldest person at a farmer's market and ask them if they know if there's any local springs around. Because if anyone would know, they So, that's something to consider. And then, and it will be second nature to you. Groovy, in a year, you'll be shocked. Huh. Groovy speech. I can tell you, if small town Ontario, Canada has farmers markets, small town everywhere has farmers markets. You're going to find a farmers market. In fact, let me just say something that should invigorate you, Groovy speech. The fact that you don't think, which means you don't know if you have farmers markets here, means it sounds like you haven't, and this is not like a call, I'm not calling you out or anything, but I'm saying it sounds like you haven't even seeked yet. You haven't sought after farmers markets, organic farms, etc. yet, which is an epiphany you should be having, being like, whoa, if it's true that Arby's is shit, all these fast food chains are shit, all these chain restaurants are shit, but there's this amazing opportunity of local farmers, and I don't even know if there are any around me. Like, your freaking neon signs in your brains should be freaking bing, bing, bing. Type it in. I'm sure there's anyone near, especially if you live near any populated area, that's where all the farmers bring their food to sell. You may have a community bigger than you can even fathom near you. Groovy's Beach, whereabouts do you live in Arizona? It's a big place. It's a beautiful place. Yeah, Timmy, that is crazy that they're doing that. Jacob says, did anyone know a good place to get a great quality shilajit in chocolate cacao form? Dude, I don't even know if that exists. Shilajit in cacao? I'm not sure, man. I know that if you're getting the chalk shilajit, well, hold on, Jacobs, you're aware of the deal tonight, right? $300 bag of lit powder, organic heirloom cacao, like Mrs. Groovy's Beach just did, and the shilajit, which is in the male and female stack. So I should mention, in the female stack, which Groovy just ordered, is the hot water purified shilajit, which is the hormone optimizer. It's a fertility booster. It stimulates the production of new brain cells. It's extremely pro-fertile. For men, it boosts testosterone. For women, it calibrates your endocrine system. That's the one that's in the male and female stack, and it also induces neurogenesis. which is the production of new brain cells. So the shilajit is in the male and female stack. The ashwagandha is in the male and female stack, which massively boosts melatonin production. It's a hormone optimizer. It's pro-fertile. You get 1,000 times better sleep while you're taking it. Supports a healthy stress response. It's considered the king of herbs in India. It's not just some willy-nilly herb. It's in the male and female stack for a specific reason. It's very powerful, very beneficial, and because of all the endocrine disruptors we're exposed to today, it's very good to be taking it. Put it that way. And then in the male stack, the third one in the male stack is the Tongkat 100, which is certified wildcrafted Tongkat Ali from the chemical-free Malaysian rainforest. It boosts free testosterone 87% in 21 days. It's pro-fertile. It boosts sperm count and sperm motility. And it's considered one of the top superfoods in all of Malaysia. That's in the male vitality stack. And in the female stack, you have the shilajit, the ashwagandha, and the certified wildcrafted Irish moss. So, dude, I'm not trying to look for, well, let me put it to you in the proper terminology. If you're looking for shilajit and cacao, you're in the like literal best possible hallway to that glowing door that you can open right now. And boom, bang, bang, get yourself organic heirloom cacao and hot water purified shilajit. No shame on you though, Groovy. Never even say that, because that's nothing to be shameful of. I mean, there's things you could be shameful of that, but are a lot worse than that, than just not knowing something. So you're in Queen Creek and cooking is new to you. Well, guess what? Cooking was new to me too. I mean, people learn things at different times. So hold on, where the Sam Dam is Queen Creek? Because I could probably, like, what I would do is, hold on a second. Let's look at the map. Let's go full bore map. Okay, so Queen Creek. Oh yeah. I guarantee there is a shiza load. There is probably like one of the biggest farmers markets in the whole wide world in Queen Creek, let alone anywhere around that gigantic area. Like, don't you guys grow all kinds of shit over there? Like, it's hot out. I know that it's like a bit sandy, but there's still a decent amount of farms there. Even if there isn't, someone's trucking stuff in to sell to you guys. For sure. Has to be. Yeah, and clinically studied, Sonny. That's right. That's exactly right. Far North said there's got to be a link to search local farms. I grew used to it, but can't remember. Oh, I used to use it. Yeah, I'm sure that Groovy says I did consume 4 boxes of Girl Scout cookies in 2 days that are infested with every heavy metal possible. That's true. I need to detox desperately. Well, look, Groovy, you've sought and you have found. Now you have in the mail coming to you some of the most potent superfoods in the natural world, and the $100 freebie on top of that. So I'm freaking flipping dipping thrilled for you, Groovy, really, because you're also the Girl Scout cookies. Oh, I could eat a whole box of those bad boys too. In the past, like a long time ago, I'm sure I had a bunch. And it's not even just the heavy metals in there. Yes, there is, because there's like the fake cacao in that, but also you have the whatchamacallit, GMO corn syrup and all that, which is a little bit wild as well. You know what I mean? Groovy, so it's shipping from Georgia. It's going to be to you in like 2 to 6 business days. Like, what did you order today? Tuesday? It could be to you by Friday. It's definitely going to be to you by next week. One of the days next week, though. Rebel Flower, you're completely welcome, unless you're telling Sonny that thank you. But yeah, doesn't Arizona grow a ton of stuff? Let me know. Well, you know what? Timmy said he lives in Wales in the UK. And you're right. If I lived in Wales, it's pretty easy to get all the stuff I'm eating here, basically. Jersey cow milk, raw. Depends on if you can get in trouble for it there. I think it is like illegal too, but it's not illegal to possess. It's only illegal to distribute, but there's like a loophole. But yeah, there's a lot of farmers around you, man. But in the UK, they're also trying to, like everywhere, decimate the farmers, of course. Everywhere they want to destroy the small farmers 100%. But no, the UK, at least you guys don't have full blown GMOs and shit. It does seem like they do chemtrail you guys a bit more, but everywhere it's a give and take, right? Um, oh, Groovy mentioned something important. She was shocked when she saw the testing of the last Girl Scout cookies. Roundup main ingredient was found in all the boxes tested. Oh yeah, no, no, no. It's dude, they found Roundup at like proven unsafe levels in every single like children's cereal. You know what you guys are making me realize? Like it's been so long that I've been into natural food and shit that people like, for example, never in a million years would I eat Cheerios. I'm not scared of Cheerios, but people think Cheerios are like one of the quote unquote healthier cereals. Those have one of the highest glyphosate amounts. And not to mention, there's heavy metals out the yin yang. And so maybe might have to do different style videos. I'm going to hire someone on like Fiverr or something. I'll send them like a shitload of raw footage because I have a new tripod bipod thing. And just vlog it up and make some cool videos that way. Um, like, I wouldn't do day in the life to be like, look how dope my life is. It would be too. What I mean by that is, I was laughing at this video I saw the other day where these guys like making a joke of people who go, "All right, guys, like, what's going?" People who make videos, right? But I never felt affected by that because I know my videos. Like, I'm stoked to make my videos. No one can say anything about my videos. You can't, I mean, you can disagree with them and everything, but like that won't affect my desire or want to make them. But my point is that oh yeah, I would vlog some videos for you guys, and I think it might hit even a different kind of audience even. But anyways, someone just got a either female or male stack. So congratulations to whoever just got the second last bag of the free chocolate powder included in their order because they just subscribed. If you are, hold on a second, boom, bang, bing. If you're on the site right now, this is the literal final call to get the $100 bag of the chocolate powder included in your order. The organic heirloom cacao. We got one left. Put the male or female stack in your cart. Apply the discount code 26life to get the lifetime 26% off discount. You can cancel or modify it at any time. Keep in mind the clinically studied benefits are based on consistent consumption over 90 days, so you do want to get a consistent dose. But with that being said, even just taking it for a month, of course, is extremely beneficial, is much better than not taking it for a month. You know what I mean? Magnesium, Asher, is imperative for sleep quality and many other benefits that Mitch, whatchamacallit, that ashwagandha, or sorry, magnesium has. Apparently, everyone's deficient in it. That's another reason why I love the chocolate powder. And what else about magnesium? There's a way you can like, yeah, there's a lot of benefits to it. People should be prioritizing getting magnesium in them for sure, dude. So shout out to Asher. That's a good question. And then the other question was non-toxic. Just double check your recipe, dude. If you burned your sourdough 3 times now, something's too hot or you're putting it in for too long. The glyphosate found in the blood of every infant born is shocking, and that is part 100% of the depopulation agenda. Guaranteed, no joke, has to be 100%. Groovy said, "Everyone, please follow Shane Vibes Truth." Shout out to Groovy. Thank you for the $5. Thank you, Groovy. You didn't need to do that. I mean, but thank you. But I'm glad you got your lit, and I'm glad you got your discount, and I appreciate that. Is that like a super chat? Is that how Nick Fuentes does it? I heard that the top streamers in the world do IRL content. I feel like this live is a form of IRL content since we're having a real open. Well, dude, the thing is like when I'm like I could do IRL stuff with a couple of my good friends who are fully on the same wavelength, but I'd have to convince them to you know, not convince them, but they'd have to want to. And I don't know, some of them are like, I don't really want to be on the internet. Meanwhile, it just dawned on me the other day, like to get 60 or 70 million views in a single month. Not all of them are, it's not 60 to 7 million people, because views are one thing, reach is another. Some people watch the video 5 times, that counts as 5 views, but it's only one person. But even 1 million people to watch a video of me being like, hey, you might want to not drink fluoride, or like, that's freaking huge, dude. Like, I don't know that I could speak in front of 1 million fucking people, but I guess I speak in front of 50 million a month, but through my phone. Like, that's freaking weird, dude. You know what I'm saying? Um, Truth said, how long is the Apex and armor out of stock? Dude, I'll let you know as soon as we have. Shout out to Truth Mystery, by the way. I haven't seen him comment too many times. Um, I'll let you know as soon as I know, but I don't think too soon. But I know if you haven't tried the minerals yet, the minerals are freaking amazing. I was gonna say badass. The minerals are amazing, and they are hot water extracted from a humic shale deposit in Utah. If you haven't tried them yet, they got the full matrix of minerals. It rebuilds your DNA. It's super detoxing. You would love the chalk minerals. Also, the chalk 7 Wonders is sweet too. And yeah, I do recommend, if you can't get the armor or the Apex, to get some stuff you haven't tried yet. Jared said the nano heavy metal isn't a coincidence. The nano uses the heavy as a material to use at will, and it is not of this realm. There is a world inside another world, over and over and over, beyond quantum physics. Okay, so Jared White, his first comment he ever drops, and it's completely true, by the way. And this is what I told you guys is an example of one out of a certain amount of people on Instagram are people who have done like intense, hardcore research into these subjects. He's absolutely right. It's not of this world. It's probably from beyond the ice wall or advanced ancient technology. But he is totally correct. Nanobots, smart dust, black goo. Harold Calzvella talked all about it. There's a shocking plan, 100%. Truth Mystery said, I just downloaded this a week ago. I'm on your Instagram lives all the time. True, Truth Mystery, and I'm glad you are. Thank you for joining. We do only do quite brief lives on Instagram, like literally like 2 to 5 minutes, just to tell people we're live here. But we did used to go live a lot longer on Instagram, but I got all kinds of strikes for literally talking about just like fluoride and shit. It was freaking whack. So that's why we do live on Rumble now instead. Shout out to Merm Anthony, dude. Yeah, borax is good too. I don't think I've ever really used it because there was some stuff I read and I'm like, dude, I'd rather just take the Shilajit. I'd rather do the chocolate powder, the organic heirloom cacao, which by the way, there's like 10 people on the site right now. A bunch of them are putting stuff into their cart. If you place your order at chalk.com and you put the discount code 26life on your subscription to the male or female stack, we're not gonna, like, if the next person orders and the lit is scooped up, but you're about to order, I'll get Chalk to extend it because it's not fair if you're like a minute or two behind the next person who ordered and like, oh, sorry, no freebie. I'll try to get them to, they will. If you order on the live while we're still live, which we're about to shut it down, you will get the free lit powder. Non-Toxic said he's loving the chocolate. He's about to order his 3rd bag in 30 some odd days. Shout out to Non-Toxic. I told you, dude, you'd love it, man. I'm not joking about its vibration, dude. It is built different, 100%. And the fact it's heavy metal tested too is freaking wild, dude. Okay, hold on a second. I'll be back in like 30 seconds. Don't go anywhere. Okay, someone just got the either a male or female stack, which means we just gave away technically the free bag of lit. But what we're going to do is we're going to extend this deal till I'm gonna say 40 more minutes. So if you're on the site, you want to really take your health and vitality to the next level with some of the most potent superfoods in the known world. Go to chalk.com, apply the discount 26 life on your subscription, the male or female stack. Get that locked in. You can cancel or modify it at any time. But keep in mind, a lot of the clinically studied benefits are based on consistent consumption over 90 days. So you do want to get a consistent dose. But congratulations to someone who got the male or female stack, someone who just got another male or female stack, Mrs. Groovy Beach, and the several other people who are about to order as well. I'm excited for you guys because I'm telling you right now, when you look at some of the 5,000 third-party verified 5-star reviews on Trustpilot, it is kind of otherworldly the amount of benefits people are saying that are outside of the scope of even the clinical studies. Some of the benefits people are saying. Ozo said he can't go without the lip powder. A dab of raw honey every morning. It's the best start to his day. It makes delicious hot chocolate that boosts your mood and just makes you feel incredible all day. Shout out to Ozo, man. He is quite honest and always shares such in detail first-hand experience, man. Thank you, Ozo. And Non-Toxic said he thinks his gas stove is holding. Dude, you know what people do? There's a type of whatchamacallit, thermometer that you can hang from a grate or something, some type of metal in your oven that'll tell you the true temperature. And it many times it has a pretty big discrepancy between what it says on your gas stove. So look into that. Like YouTube, um, sourdough gas oven tips or whatever for temperature, and someone will have a full video on it. Okay. So we're going to extend this deal for another 35 minutes. DM me on Instagram if you guys have any questions. The coupon code, remember, is 26life. That works on the subscription. And you're going to get that free lip powder. All right. Make sure your live notifications are on so you know when we're live tomorrow. Thank you all for joining. We still need to discuss so much more about what's coming out around the corner. It is freaking wild. Groovy Beach, I definitely want to see you on the next one. We got so much, like I said, more to cover. And keep your heads on a swivel, guys. Do not be disempowered, or should I say be empowered. Know that the best possible days ever are ahead, and it's going to be thrilling and amazing, and human freedom is going to be restored fully. But it has to get a little bit worse, it seems, before it gets better. But that's okay. We're going to be stronger from it. All right. Much love, everyone, and we'll see you on the next one.